When Ronald Read died, his neighbors found out he was a millionaire 8 times over. He had spent his life pumping gas and sweeping floors. He wore a coat held together with safety pins. He drove an old second-hand car. People in his small Vermont town occasionally bought him coffee because they assumed he couldn't afford it. He left behind $8 million. Nobody saw it coming, because Ronald Read looked exactly like what he appeared to be. An ordinary, unremarkable old man. There was nothing to see. And that, it turns out, is the entire point. Here's something almost nobody understands about real wealth. It is boring to look at. It doesn't sparkle. It doesn't announce itself. The wealthiest people you will ever pass on the street will look completely ordinary. Not because they're hiding, but because real wealth simply doesn't look like anything. Meanwhile, the things that look the most rich, the flashy cars, the loud logos, the constant display, are very often signs of the opposite. By the end of this video, you'll understand why genuine wealth is almost always invisible, and why the people working hardest to look rich are usually the ones who aren't. Start with a simple distinction that changes everything. There is a difference between looking rich and being rich, and it is enormous. Looking rich is about the things you can see: the car, the watch, the clothes, the house people drive past. Being rich is about the things you can't see: the investments, the ownership, the assets quietly compounding in the background. And here's the trap. Every dollar spent on looking rich is a dollar that can't be used for being rich. They pull in opposite directions. The money that goes into the visible display is money that leaves the invisible pile that actually makes you wealthy. This is why real wealth looks boring. Wealth, by definition, is the money you did not spend. It's the restraint, not the display. A large investment account looks like nothing. A paid-off home looks like nothing. Ownership of a quiet business looks like nothing. The wealth is real. It's just not visible, because visibility costs money, and the wealthy chose to keep the money instead. Ronald Read's $8 million looked like nothing because it was sitting in stocks, growing for decades, instead of being worn on his wrist or parked in his driveway. But if real wealth is invisible, then what's all that visible wealth we see everywhere? The flashy cars, the designer everything? The answer is uncomfortable, and once you understand it, you'll never read those signals the same way again. Here's the truth that the display economy doesn't want you to notice. A huge amount of visible wealth is not wealth at all. It's debt. The financed luxury car. The watch bought on a payment plan. The lifestyle propped up by credit, designed to project a level of success that doesn't actually exist behind the scenes. There's a well-known pattern that researchers of millionaires have pointed to again and again. Many of the people who look the wealthiest have very little real net worth, while many genuine millionaires live in ordinary homes and drive ordinary cars. The appearance and the reality are often inversely related, and there's a psychological reason for this. The need to display wealth usually comes from insecurity about it. When someone is genuinely deeply secure in their wealth, they feel no urge to prove it to strangers. The proving is the tell. The person shouting their success through objects is often the person least certain of it underneath. Old money figured this out generations ago. They learned that loud wealth attracts the wrong things: envy, scrutiny, people who want something from you, even risk to your safety. So real wealth went quiet. It learned to look boring on purpose, because boring is safe and boring is free. The loudest wallet in the room is rarely the fullest. Now look at what these people actually do, because the boredom goes all the way down. The behaviors that build real wealth are some of the most boring behaviors imaginable. Spending less than you earn every single month for decades. Investing steadily and leaving it alone. Avoiding the upgrade everyone else is chasing. Saying no to purchases that would impress people you'll never see again. Repeating this, quietly, for 30 or 40 years. There's nothing exciting about any of it. It doesn't feel like winning. It doesn't photograph well. There's no moment of glamour. Ronald Read's strategy was almost comically dull. Buy good companies, hold them for decades, never panic, never show off, never stop. And it made him a fortune. This is the part people can't accept. They want wealth to come from something thrilling, the big win, the bold move, the dramatic moment. But for the overwhelming majority of people who actually build it, wealth is the result of boring decisions repeated for a very long time. The excitement and the wealth are almost never in the same place. The flashy purchase is exciting and makes you poorer. The boring habit is dull and makes you richer. Most people choose excitement, again and again, and then wonder why the wealth never comes. So real wealth is invisible, loud wealth is often fake, and the habits that build it are deliberately dull. But there's a final layer here. The deepest reason old money chooses boring on purpose. And it's not about money at all. Here's what separates someone who looks boring because they have to from someone who looks boring because they chose to. For old money, the boring exterior isn't a limitation. It's a decision rooted in something most people never reach, not needing the approval of strangers. Think about what the flashy display is really chasing. It's chasing the reaction, the glance in the parking lot, the impressed look, the assumption from people you'll never meet that you must be important. The entire flashy economy runs on caring deeply what strangers think of you. Old money simply stopped caring. And that freedom is the real luxury. When you no longer need a stranger's approval, you no longer need to buy the things that purchase it. You're free to drive the old car, wear the plain coat, live in the ordinary house. Not because you can't afford better, but because you've outgrown the need to perform. This is why the truly wealthy often seem almost suspiciously normal. The normalcy is the flex. It quietly says, I have nothing to prove to you. And not needing to prove anything to anyone is a kind of wealth that no purchase can buy. Ronald Read let an entire town feel sorry for him and pay for his coffee. He didn't correct them. He didn't need them to know. That indifference to what strangers thought is exactly the mindset that let him keep $8 million instead of spending it trying to look like he had it. So what do you actually do with this? First, stop reading flash as wealth. Train yourself to see the loud display for what it often is, a signal of insecurity, frequently financed by debt. The quietest people in the room are worth a second look. The loudest rarely are. Second, make peace with boring. The habits that build wealth will never feel exciting. Spending less than you earn, investing steadily, ignoring the upgrade cycle, it's dull, and the dullness is the price of admission. If you need your wealth building to be thrilling, you'll trade the wealth for the thrill every time. Third, work toward not needing the approval. The ultimate freedom isn't being able to afford the flashy thing. It's no longer wanting it, no longer needing strangers to think you're rich. That's the moment money stops controlling you and starts working for you. Ronald Read was a janitor who looked like he had nothing and quietly built a fortune that outlived him. The people who bought him coffee looked, in that moment, more comfortable than he was. But he was the wealthiest person in the room, and the only one who didn't need anyone to know it. Real wealth looks boring because the boredom is where the wealth actually lives. The flashy ones are performing wealth. The boring ones simply have it. The richest person you'll ever meet is probably someone you'd walk right past.